refineries, and he has taken a commanding lead. He's cranking in 6,000 ore per minute. And also the other thing, he is fighting right into the teeth of Enigma's defense as well. I think that if Elites didn't have such a commanding lead, I believe he'd probably be backing off and looking to be a little more fancy and a little more careful about where he's attacking. But I think that Elites is just trying to basically jam the tanks right down Enigma's throat right now. And this is it, though. Elites no longer has any more tanks. He is building nothing but he's now building Striker VXs. Now, with the amount of money he has and the amount of income he's taking in, he can probably build a second mecha bay or a second unit producing structure of some kind. And here comes Enigma. Enigma's a little bit desperate. He's got to do something big soon. He can't allow this economic difference to last for anything more than, 45 seconds. And Enigma has a boot camp. So he's trying to crank out units as fast as he can. And Elites isn't floating any money. So he's cranking out new units as fast as he can. And here comes some kind of a big move by Enigma. 3 Apollos, 4 Vindicator bombers. It looks like they're headed for the water. And let's see what happens here. And he's using a second level cryo shot, which that will freeze the ore refinery. He'll be able to take this out with 1 bomb if he lets it freeze the refinery in the water. And that'll take a nice piece out of Elite's base. And you know what? It looks like Elites is totally ignoring the fact that that base has been shot down, and Elites is just pressing forward with pretty much every unit he has in his army. It's just it's basically Q and attack move right now for Elites. And right now their economies are even again, very briefly, but it looks like Elites is not going to allow that to continue. He's going right after his ore collector, and right after Enigma's ore collector in his expansion area. And let's see what kind of Vindicator bombing Enigma can pull off with all of these Striker VXs on the ground near the tsunami tanks. It's going to be very difficult to do any bombing. Wow, and Enigma just ran out of power. And he's got these Apollos here by the side. He's waiting for Elites to raise the Strikers up into the air, but it doesn't look like he's anxious to do that anytime soon. And again, Enigma's got 2 air bases. He still is at tier 1, it appears, though. And here we go on a nice bombing run. Let's see what Enigma can pull off. If Enigma loses a couple of Vindicators, that'll be bad news. He loses 1. You know what? He lost 1 Vindicator. He did okay. And at the same time, his MCV looks like it ran over a couple of things, but he better pull his MCV back. He's got basically 5 tsunami tanks opening up on that MCV. He needs to move it back into the middle of his base where it can be healed by this air base as fast as possible. I don't know. He might not even make it back. So Elites is running at 4,500 ore per minute. Enigma is running at 3,000 ore per minute. And Elites is basically sending in every unit. As soon as it comes out of his mecha bay, it's going straight into Enigma's base. And now Elites is doing a nice move going after a poorly defended structure that's kind of in the middle of nowhere and separated from everything else. So this is a nice move. And he's probably going to successfully take it down, and bit by bit, unless Enigma can really pull something off, I think Elites has finally nailed him down. Elites has done a very disciplined job as well of keeping the Striker VXs on the ground and making it really tough for Enigma's bombers to really, Enigma's Vindicators to really do any kind of a job here. And now he's just shooting up the walls. Now we got some bombing going on. And we got nothing but Vindicators falling through the sky. It looks like Enigma doesn't have any units left. He doesn't have any Vindicators left. He's got 3 Apollos, which really can't do much. The way Elites has positioned his strikers, Apollos are pretty much useless. Enigma's attempt hasn't expanded again. Elites is pretty much ignoring that base. It looks like Elites is going to move on to the next round. He was on the finals of the last Conquer Cup event. And Enigma's getting very desperate at this point with multiple walls. That air base looks like it's in big trouble. I don't see any... There's nothing really Enigma can do about it. In fact, the Vindicator was shot down. And at this point, all Enigma is able to do is build more and more walls, and Elites is now sending tanks into a different location. The Striker VXs are finally airborne. I hear some kind of a suicide squadron, something or other. The Heroic Chopper VX takes out the MCV of Enigma. The game at this point is pretty much over. Enigma did manage to... excuse me. Enigma, to his credit, did manage to build a second airbase, but there isn't going to be very much he can do. All he's got is 3 Apollos. And there goes a bomber in the air. That won't even take out 1 tank. And with these... this large number, 3, 6... 8, we got about 10 tanks. This really is it. And yep, that's it. That's okay. So good game by 2 top 10 ranked ladder players, and Elites will move on to the next round of the Conquer Cup, and Enigma's been eliminated.